Unbelievable. Halfway through the year. Is there a motion we approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion second, approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes approved. Virgil, you're up first today.
We've got two for you tonight. The first one is 1308 Royal Oaks Court. This was a burn house from last year. The owners have been contacted. They have not responded or with anything. I'm not sure if they're going to be here or not. I think this is in your district.
This is, yeah, across from,
Yes.
across from ACA.
Yes, right over there behind it.
National neighborhood.
So they haven't done anything. Our motion is just to go ahead and condemn. If they come with a plan, y'all can hear them out.
Yeah, how long has it been since the fire?
The year's been, the fire was April of last year, I believe. So they've had plenty of time to do what they needed to do with their insurance company. So,
Do you know that they have insurance?
I don't know.
You know the name, George, Virgil?
Robertson. I can't remember the first name.
That's okay. All righty.
All right. And the next one is 520 25th Avenue East. That should have it.
There you
on
go.
there, my bad. This gentleman has pulled a permit, says he wants to save it, but he ain't done nothing to do anything yet. So
Save a permit.
he says he's cleaned up. I just drove by there a while ago. It doesn't look like anything's been done to me. So I called and left him a message, told him he had council tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to be here or not. So
What district is this?
Where is
that's in yours.
Mine too.
25th Avenue East.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They pulled the permit but nothing?
I haven't seen any work started. I
Oh.
can barely see the house, but
Yeah, I know. I've gotten a lot of complaints on that.
yeah. So we've been dealing with this one for quite a while,
Okay.
and we had wrote it up in property maintenance, and the siblings couldn't decide what they wanted to do, and so we put it in condemnation. And then one of them says he wants to try to save it, so he may or may not be here to address y'all on the situation.
I have no problems unless he comes and really is, like I said, shows up. There's just been too long and too many complaints on it.
Yes, sir.
Those only two?
That's all we've got for tonight.
Sorry, I got all of them.
Yeah, that's all we've got for tonight.
Thank you, Virgil.
Thank you.
Zach?
Mr. Fail has all of mine tonight. So this first one, it's actually two rezonings for one like overall development. So I'll kind of go into that, but I know Mr. Fail is very familiar with this one. So this is on 1322 31st Avenue East. It's a two-part rezoning. The first one is a portion of it being rezoned from SFR1 to SFR2. It's the larger portion. So here's the location. It's on the west side of Bowers Park, in between McFarland Boulevard and Bowers Park on 31st Street. So the northern portion is what we're looking at right now. Currently zoned SFR1. You can see it's broken up into two rezonings, but we're only talking about the top portion right now. So there's going to be 65 total lots. This portion is going to include 51 of those 65 lots as being SFR2. These homes are going to range from 1 to 2 story, 1,300 square feet, 275 to 325 in price. And then this is the layout. And it does conform to framework, and it does, and it was unanimously recommended to be approved. And then going into that second portion, so again, same general area, but just the southern portion. There are 14 houses here that you can see. Those all line 31st Street East, and those are going to be a little bit more dense at the SFR3 regulations rather than SFR2, but still within that overall development. And it was also unanimously recommended for approval.
I've been in discussions with all this, especially the first one he showed. This guy's doing exactly what we asked him to do. And Hayslip has worked with the community. They've been going back and forth, and they're okay with this. They're okay with this. So I am too.
And then our third one, but second property. So this is another one that Mr. Fail is definitely privy to. So this is at 1700 23rd Avenue East. They're rezoning from SFR 1 to SFR 5. So this one you've seen before. It actually got all the way to you guys a while back.
This is the one I was talking.
Right, yeah. So this is the avenue, or it came as the avenue. They're still going to call it the avenue, but this is close to the mayor's parents' house. And so we talked about that at council, and there were some concerns there. But now they're actually just requesting to rezone to SFR 5 to construct a 30-unit duplex residential development. So 30 units, 15 total structures, all of them duplexes, all on each separate lots. So the duplex basically is 2 lots combined together to form the building. So that allows for 2 separate owners for each unit, or for each duplex itself. They are gonna have these as a for purchase, not for rent. That was another kind of thing that was a little bit discussed last time. They're gonna have a pond and a dog park on a pretty large open space lot, 12,000 to 15,000 square feet, or 1,200 to 1,500 square feet, with 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, a single car garage, and an extra parking space, and then the materials there. So here's the layout. So north is to the right of your screen, ends in a cul-de-sac, and then you can see those 30 duplex units, and then some examples of what that is going to look like. And so they're mimicking St. Charles Way, I believe is what it's called, pretty close to this area. It does conform to framework, and it was unanimously recommended for approval at Planning Commission.
St. Charles, that's across the other side of the street.
Right, yes, sir.
Cross.
So that's all I got for y'all tonight.
I have one concern. I would think, whatever happens, is the pond. You know, I don't know how, when they do these man-made lakes, what I call them, other places like them having a bad problem, and you've had in your district
Well,
too.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, that they, don't, because things are gonna happen, and
Right.
the silt and all that stuff, and then they'll come saying, wanting the city's help with it. That's only concern that I have with that.
How big is this gonna be? Bigger than this room, or how big?
The pond itself, or
Yeah.
You've seen that pond.
yeah, I'm not
Seen
sure.
that pond.
I'm not sure. It looks to be
Is
about
that the pond?
right. Yeah. So
Don't forget about Green Acres.
That's where the house was, I think.
Hen birthday.
The Nevins house, I think.
Okay, yeah.
It can't be very big.
no, it's not going to be very big, and that's where their detention is going to be, and they're kind of trying to utilize it as an amenity as well. But they can answer that question. I know that they discussed that it's going to be included in the HOA to maintain the pond and everything like that. But of course, that's probably what the other ones.
Is this,
I've also
because the last time it was all rental, wasn't it?
Right. Yes, sir.
So this time is it homeowner or?
Yeah, he's intending to sell them. All right.
Are you satisfied with the differences they came back with?
This is what the mayor and I asked him to do. So, yeah, the answer would have to be yes.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Okay, Mayor will be late, he didn't have any announcements, but there are 2 executive sessions that we have, after pre-council, at the end of pre-council. Ms. Johnson,
All right, so I've got 3 boards to go over with you guys today. That first one is gonna be the Tuscaloosa County IDA. We accepted resumes for about 2 weeks. And as you guys can see in that packet, we accepted 12 applications or 12 resumes. One of which is not a resident of the city of Tuscaloosa, but the rest of them would be eligible to be appointed in our position on that particular board. And just as a reminder, this is a 4-year term to fill the seat that is vacated by Mr. Carl Jamison.
I I would recommend Josh Taylor myself. I don't know how anybody else feels.
I agree.
I can go with that recommendation.
You know, this is probably one of the strongest resume list of people I think that have ever applied for any position since I've been on the city council. These are very good qualified candidates. That's very encouraging to me to see. And if people don't get appointed, they should continue to look for opportunities, because we need good people to serve. There are a lot of good people on this.
All right.
We have 4 recommendations for Josh, so you want to put it on the,
I'll have that on the next agenda.
okay?
The
Josh is
next
good.
one that I have is gonna be the Jemison Vandegraff Foundation's Board of Directors. On that other sheet that you guys have, you'll have, Mr. Pohold and David Schroeder, who we appointed back in 22. Mr. Schroeder would like to be reappointed, however, Mr. Pohold does not. So that will create a vacancy that we will need to fill.
Oh. So you're gonna ask for, take
Let's
resumes?
accept some resumes.
Okay, 2
Couple.
weeks.
That's the,
2 weeks?
That's,
I always mix, that's, which one? The one by the old YMCA?
It's the
The old
library.
library.
yes, the old library.
Yeah,
Yes. So we'll accept resumes for 2 weeks.
maybe Poe Hold doesn't want, maybe Rich Hold would.
And then the last one that I have for you guys is the Indian Rivers Behavioral Health Board of Directors. Miss Barbara Friedman Brown is the current Board of Directors president. Her term has expired. She has been on that board since the late 90s. And we have not accepted resumes for that particular board in a very, very long time. They are open to accepting resumes if you guys don't want to just go ahead and reappoint her.
Does she want to do it?
She's had a
She
long
is-
history working on mental health.
She is
and-
willing to,
and,
yes.
And the Phoenix House and for men and women, I think if she wants to serve again, I would certainly.
If she's willing to, I'm okay.
Is she willing to?
She is willing to, yes, but keep in mind, it is a 6-year term.
Right.
So I don't know if she's willing to do another full 6 years, but she's willing to continue serving for the time being, yes.
Okay. I don't know anybody that's done more for mental health and alcoholism and drug addiction than her, so I mean, I would favor her if she wants, if anybody else has anybody in mind,
All right, so we are going to reappoint her. All right, that's all I've got.
Okay, and then we'll do resumes on the Vandegraff, right? Okay, thank you, Brandy. And Scott,
Good afternoon, council.
good afternoon.
I'm about midway down on page 2, where on page 20, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way permit to Charles Sperlin at 519 Greensboro Avenue. This came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 21, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way permit with Bob Young at 730 22nd Avenue. This again came to projects on the 24th. On page 22, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a facilities use license agreement with the Tuscaloosa Housing Authority. This is for the Powell Gym and will be discussed in Properties Committee today. On page 23, you'll be authorizing the purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Energy Systems Southeast to a total of $43,180, and it is for a 60 kilowatt Generac generator for lift station number 37. As a previously budgeted purchase that comes to you from purchasing. On page 24, you'll be authorizing a purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Train US. This is a total of $11,014 for a Train 3.5 ton split system, and again is a previously budgeted purchase that comes to you from purchasing. On page 25, you will be authorizing the Office of Community and Neighborhood Services to advertise a summary of the city's proposed 2025-2029 consolidated plan for community planning and development programs and 2025 action plan for CDBG home and other HUD grant programs. This came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 26, you'll be authorizing the Office of Community and Neighborhood Services to advertise the City of Tuscaloosa's 2025 analysis of impediments to fair housing. This came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 27, you'll be authorizing an amendment to the city's agreement with Habitat for Humanity and authorizing the mayor to execute an amended agreement for the development of affordable housing. This came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 28, you'll be authorizing execution of a utility agreement between the city of Tuscaloosa and AT&T for the University Boulevard East Roadway Improvement Project. This is doubled up and is on projects for today. On page 29, you'll be authorizing execution of utility agreement between the city of Tuscaloosa and Comcast, again, for the University Boulevard East Roadway Improvements Project. And again, this one is doubled up on projects today. On page 30, you'll be authorizing a execution of utility agreement between the city of Tuscaloosa and Spire, again, for the University Boulevard East project. And again, this is doubled up on projects today. On page 31, you'll be authorizing execution of a utility agreement between the city of Tuscaloosa and Alabama Power. And again, this is for the University Boulevard East project and doubled up on projects today.
So, Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
Mr. Bobbitt, why all the doubling up on these?
Because we're not meeting next week.
Because these all came in fairly late, and we had a pretty quick turnaround on them. They came in all through engineering. We redlined them and then got them through.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. On page 32, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right of entry permit with the Department of Army for survey and exploration of city property near the river market. This was presented to you in projects on the 24th. On page 33, you'll be authorizing the mayor to negotiate an assignment and amendment to the TCL FBO LLC, doing business as Bama Dixie FBO, fixed base operator agreement and aviation hangar and ground lease to Ascension FBO, which is Hawthorne Global Aviation Services at the Tuscaloosa National Airport. This is doubled up and is on properties for discussion today. On page 34, you'll be authorizing the Office of City Attorney to file a legal action against the Alabama Department of Revenue, the Commissioner of the Alabama Department of Revenue, the State of Alabama, and any other necessary parties for the purposes of SSUT. This comes to you from the mayor in my office. On page 35, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the minor public works contract with Bagby Elevator Company, Inc. for as-needed FY25 elevator maintenance and inspections. This is a total amended amount of $34,000 and came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 36, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the minor public works contract with Crimson Carpet and Flooring. This is for 2025 as-needed flooring services. This is a total amended amount of $52,300 and came through projects on the 24th. On page 37, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the minor public works contract with Freeman Sheet Metal, Inc. This is for as-needed FY25 roofing services. This is a total amended amount of $45,000 and again came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 38, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the minor public works contract with Paint on Us Plus for as-needed FY25 carpentry and painting services. This is a total amended compensation of $60,000 and came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 39, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Allied Emergency Services, BHM. This is DBA Puro Clean of Birmingham. This is a total of $5,000 and came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 40, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Perry Doors and Floors. This is a total of $16,385 and came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 41, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Shoup Masonry LLC. This is a total of $10,392 and came to you on projects on the 24th. On page 42, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Electro Mesh Scoreboard Company. This is a total of $6,592 and again came to you on projects on the 24th. On page 43, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Civil Works Construction. This is a total of $78,675 and again came to you on projects on the 24th. On page 44 through 45, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract to Snow Blankney Construction for the Linton Barbershop Plaza project. This is a total of $647,350 and came to you on the 24th. On page 46, you'll be authorizing a cooperative maintenance agreement with Alabama Department of Transportation regarding portions of McFarland Boulevard and Skyland Boulevard and Highway 69. This came to you in projects on the 24th. On page 47, You'll be authorizing the chief financial officer to draw drafts for the University Boulevard East Improvement Project's right-of-way acquisition. This is a total of $25,938.25. On page 48 and 49, you'll be authorizing amendment number 14 to the fiscal year 2025 General Fund Reserve for Future Improvements budget. This came to you in finance on the 24th. On page 50 through 51, you'll be introducing zoning amendment number 15, rezoning approximately 4.03 acres located north of 9710 Highway 69 and south of 9200 Highway 69, being annexed in the city of Tuscaloosa as SFR1 to HC. This comes from Huffman Real Estate Services and Ward Family Partnership, and this comes to you from Planning Commission. On page 52, you'll be declaring property surplus and no longer needed for municipal purposes. This came to you on projects on the 24th. On page 53, you'll be reappointing members of the Tuscaloosa County Parking and Transit Authority Board of Directors. This came to you in pre-council last week. On page 54, you'll be reappointing Councilman Busby to the Tuscaloosa County Special Tax Board. And finally, on page 55, you'll be setting July 29th as the date for public hearing to consider adoption of zoning amendment number 15, and this came to you from the Planning Commission. Are there any questions for me?
Questions for Scott? Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I get the dates, remember, Chris, I want to thank Chris Meggs for, I just want to let y'all know how much the people love our garbage department, trash department, recycling department. And when they were on my show last Wednesday, we almost set a record. There was over 9,000 views of the guys. And Philip, he had almost, in his segment alone, he had over 3,000 views. But between those, we did it in two and twos, 4 segments, 9,000 folks with the sweetest comments. So I think the guys we had a great time and had a lot of fun, and it just showed by the number of people watching how many people love those departments.
They said they're gonna do a little something
Huh?
for you. They're gonna do a little something for you for the race.
I get a lot of compliments for our garbage folks.
It was fun. It was really funny, because I always ask, like I do the police and fire, what's some of the funniest things that are the craziest things that has been. There's some things people put in recycling bins that make you run, but it's and I mean that's pretty bad. Fish fish juice in your face, and stuff like that. A lot of things they go through. It's
We'll
tough.
recycle that.
But they were great. They were great, Chris, and thank you for setting that up. And
Raise your ad rate.
and now we're going to do it every 6 months instead of once a year, because get more people in. But thank you for that, and for Rebecca setting all that up too. City Hall will be closed in observance of Independence Day. Friday, don't forget the Symphony Orchestra concert Friday night evening, followed by the remarks from the mayor, and then fireworks right at 9 o'clock. No city council or committee meetings next Tuesday, July 8th, in observance of Independence Day holiday. I know we'll all terribly miss each other. Wednesday the 9th, Historic Preservation Commission meets. Monday, Police and Fire and Pension Board. Any comments, any communications from anyone? Okay, all right. Is there a motion we go into executive session?
So moved.
Motion and a second.
Yes, sir. As your city attorney and an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, I can certify that this executive session is to discuss preliminary negotiations involving matters of trade or commerce in which the governmental body is in competition with private individuals or entities or other governmental bodies in Alabama or in other states or foreign nations, the discussions of which would have a detrimental effect upon the competitive position of a party to the negotiations or upon the location, retention, expansion, or upgrading of a public employee or business entity in an area served by the governmental body if disclosed outside of an executive session.
Okay, we have a motion second for executive session. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?